a Chinese journalist was actually sentenced to jail because they reported on the coronavirus in Wuhan. So basically, a Chinese court sentenced a citizen journalist who reported on conditions inside Wuhan where the novel coronavirus that causes COVID-19 first emerged. They did this to 4 years in prison for picking quarrels with the communist government. And this is a perfect example of why we don't want communism here and why it shouldn't really be anywhere else. This is a big deal because I think a lot of people forgot the first stages of what happened during the coronavirus. But I remember when everybody was confused. We knew something was going on in China. There were pictures of them spraying weird stuff all over the streets. And we were like, what is happening? And we didn't get any information. All we had was barely anything, just some videos that managed to get out to us. And there were reports at the time of a journalist trying to report about it that were somehow just silenced out of nowhere. Most of them, at least the one that I know of, died of coronavirus shortly after that. But pretty odd for them to be sentencing somebody for 4 years for picking quarrels with the communist government. I mean, really what it sounds like is that they were disagreeing with them, that they were trying to expose what actually happened. And this is the reason why we have free speech in the United States. This is why we believe in this. Because in places where you don't have free speech, the government is allowed to do this. They're allowed to do whatever they want. I mean, good luck talking trash about Trump or saying something bad about a governor or a senator or going around saying that the United States is systematically racist, because you'll be thrown in jail. If you did the same thing in China, you would be thrown in jail. And I put a post about this months and months ago, but I basically said if Democrats got the government they want, they wouldn't even be able to protest against it. And this never crosses their mind because they don't understand. The thing is that when things go your way, when they agree with what you agree with, things are all great in your world. But the second that somebody gets in there that has the same control that doesn't agree with what you agree with, then all of a sudden it's a problem. And then you realize the mistake that you made. We don't want a government like this here at all. And we must never forget what China did. They were the ones that kept the world from being able to prepare for this virus, because none of the information that they had or received or that people were reporting on was ever accessible to anybody outside of China, really. So that creates a lot of issues. It made us completely unprepared. So one of the first things Trump did, and he continues to talk about this, is that he shut down travel from China. And nobody even cares, because him saying that just puts more attention on the fact that China was where this started at. I can tell you right now, if the same thing happened in the United States, this wouldn't be a problem, because we have a government where people are able to actually do stuff, and actually talk about it and actually figure out a plan for it. It would have never have gotten to this point worldwide, at least most likely, because we weren't trying to cover it up at the same time. By the time anybody had any information about it, it was already out. It was spread everywhere at that point. They were shutting down airports, and that is a sad reality. China, of course, claims that it did everything it could to stop the virus from spreading, when it admits that the virus exists at all, because most of the time they don't. It also claims now that the pandemic has been brought to a halt inside its borders, and that Wuhan has had no cases of COVID-19 for some months, even as the world battles the second wave of the virus, which, of course, that is a complete lie. China lies all the time. I mean, who in their right mind is going to believe that? There's not one place in the United States where no cases have happened in months. I mean, what? This is the epicenter. You're telling me the epicenter of the virus, where this all started at, has had 0 cases in months? If this doesn't prove that China can't be trusted as a country, I don't understand what else you want. It just doesn't work. Nobody knew what was going on in the beginning because of China, and it spread as bad as it did because of China. It is absolutely their fault, and it's not racist to bring attention to that fact. You just watched a clip from The William Hall Show. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe.